Welcome back to my channel, Math and Language, and we're going to discuss business combinations, part 7, intangible assets. Let's start with defining intangible assets. So, core definition niya, intangible asset daw ay identifiable. Take note of this one. Identifiable siya na non-monetary asset without physical substance. Kaya nga siya intangible. O, tapos, ang importante dito, identifiable din siya. Kasi pag hindi siya identifiable, then we can say that goodwill siya. Mm. But sir, di ba ang goodwill intangible din? Yes, ang goodwill ay intangible din. Kaso kapag hindi siya identifiable, then matic siya na goodwill na siya. Okay? Or other thing. So identifiability, the asset must be identifiable to distinguish it from goodwill. Ito nga yung kakasabi ko lang kanina. This is met if it is separable and can be sold or licensed or arises from contractual legal rights. So kung separable siya, at tawag dito, may contractual legal rights or siya, then that's an intangible asset. Hindi siya goodwill lang. The entity must have the power to obtain future economic benefits from the resource and restrict the access of others to those benefits. Katulad ng legal rights like patents. Ito, pinakamagandang example dito yung patents kasi or patents or copyrights, pwede mong idemanda yung ibang tao or ibang tao or entity kapag ginagamit nila yung technology mo or yung art without permission, yan katulad sa copyright, 'di ba? So, kaya may control ka na intangible asset. Future economic benefits, isa siyang core definition din ng intangible asset. Kasi, dito kasi, may karapatan ka na pag meron ka nitong intangible asset na to, meron kang revenue, 'di ba? Sa patent, mapapayagan yung company mo na makabenta ng, for example, unique medicine, di ba? So that no one else can make. So ikaw lang yung pwedeng gumawa nun. Mm-mm. So dahil ikaw lang pwedeng gumawa nun, meron kang monopoly doon sa produkto na yon. Yung ibang tao or ibang company, hindi sila pwedeng gumawa ng ganong klaseng product. So syempre, sa'yo lang bibili yung mga tao at syempre, kikita ka ng maraming pera doon. Di ba? Hmm. Okay, next one. So yeah, the asset must be expected to generate revenue, like the sale of products, cost savings, or other benefits resulting from its use. Okay, okay. Next tayo. The identifiability criteria. So importante kasi to para malaman natin, ma-distinguish natin to kung intangible asset ba to or goodwill lang. So separability criterion, can the asset be sold or licensed on its own? Mabebenta ba siya or licensed on its own? Yan yung magandang tanong. Contractual legal criterion, does the asset arise from a legal right or contract? Hmm. So it's either separability criterion or contractual legal criterion. Pag wala nito, then we can just say na ito ay goodwill lang. Okay. Pag meron na isa nito, then that is an intangible asset. Now, let's start with separability criterion muna. Yung asset is separable kapag nadi-divide siya from the acquired company and sold, transferred, licensed, or rented. So, kung pwede mo siya mabenta, pwede mo siya ma-transfer, o ma-license, or rented, then meron tayong separability criterion at masasabi natin siya na intangible asset yun. May intent pa tayo, it's separable even if the acquirer does not intend to sell it. Kung wala kang balak ibenta yun, okay lang. That is an intangible asset. Evidence the existence of exchange transactions for similar assets, even if infrequent, proves separability. Basta, ang tawag dito, kung, kasi syempre kailangan mo din siyang, ang tawag dito, meron ka dapat exchange transaction. So kahit naman infrequent yan, um, pwede mo pa rin siya masabi na intangible asset siya. Hmm. For example, how do we prove something if separable if we've never sold it, di ba? So, we look, tawag dito, katulad ng mga ibang company, yung industry occasionally sell or trade similar assets. Mm. So, kahit yung mga sales happen once in a blue moon, pwede nang proof yun na tradable siya and it counts as separable. So, ang tawag dito, kahit na hindi naman siya palagi nabebenta, pwede na yun, evidence na rin yun na intangible asset siya. Okay? Example, customer and subscriber lists are separable because they are frequently licensed. Yung mga customer lists, kunyari, sa mga magazines, kapag nag-subscribe ka, nandun yung pangalan mo, o nag-subscribe ako dito. At yung customer A, nag-subscribe dito, customer B, customer C. Minsan itong mga magazine subscribers na, magazine company to, yung mga pangalan ng customer ay sinusend mismo sa advertising agency. Hmm. Minsan sa Facebook, ang tawag dito, may nagki-click ka ng, kunyari, interested ka sa ganitong product, or may kini-click ka, or nilalike or follow ka, yung isa sa nila yung idea na yan, o ito, kinilik nito ni customer A itong page na to, interested siya dito. So, yung i-send to sa advertising agency, parang advertising agency, mag, ang tawag dito, okay, naglalagay ako ng advertisement para dito kasi alam kong interested siya sa ganitong bagay. Diba? Adi yun. Exemption naman, syempre, if confidentiality terms prohibit the sale or exchange of the information, it is not separable. So, kung merong confidentiality dito, hindi siya pwede. It's not separable. Okay. The contractual legal criterion, intangible asset naman is identifiable if it arises from contractual or legal rights. Hmm. From the word contractual, from may contract, alam natin na contractual legal criterion na yun. So key point, this applies even if the asset is not separable from the rest of the business. Okay, alam natin, di ba? Kanina, nilagay ko dito na as much as possible, dapat separable siya, di ba? Or hindi, goodwill siya. Kaso, kapag contractual legal criterion, kahit hindi siya separable, intangible asset pa rin siya. Hmm. Basta under siya ng contractual legal criterion, we can say na intangible asset siya at hindi siya goodwill lang. Okay? Examples ito, trademarks and patents, franchise agreements, nalala ko yung Potato Corner, operating licenses, yung broadcasting or liquor licenses. Broadcasting, ito yung sa ABS-CBN, di ba? Hmm. ABS-CBN, GMA, TV5, na parang kailangan mo ng broadcasting license para ang tawag dito, para makita yung mga palabas mo sa analog TV, di ba? Tapos liquor license na para payagan ka na makapagbenta ng alak. Mm. So di naman lahat ng company, di naman lahat ng tao pwede magbenta na ng alak. Kailangan meron kang liquor license. Mm. Katulad ng, ayan, broadcasting din, di ba nawala ng license yung ABS-CBN nun. Mm. Anyway, understanding goodwill. Goodwill represents the inseparable value of a company. So, ang tawag dito, pag inseparable siya, then goodwill siya. Kaso again, kung hindi siya, mayroong mga inseparable na under ng contractual legal criterion. At pag under ka dito, intangible asset ka pa rin, hindi ka goodwill. Okay. But let's have goodwill muna din. Okay. Pag goodwill, yeah, it's the residual amount left over after assigning value to all identifiable assets and liabilities. Ito yung sa formula natin, di ba? Mga components ng goodwill is assembled workforce, trained employees. Sir, bakit naging example to? Kasi wala naman tayong control din sa mga employees na yan. Pwede naman silang, tawag dito, lumayas din sa company or umalis, di ba? We cannot really control them. They're not slaves. Wala tayong parang control na, oh, dito ka lang sa company na to. Di ba? Corporate culture and management synergy. Another components of goodwill din, yung reputation ng restaurant or yung reputation, that's goodwill. Future economic benefits from combining two companies. Yeah, ito yung palagi nating ginagawa sa mga previous videos natin. Now, why inseparable contractual assets are in goodwill? Okay, good question. It has a clear beginning and end defined by law. Legal existence. Kunyari, yung patent. Patent. Ang alala ko palagi, pag patent, pa 20. Oo, 20 years yan. Meron siyang may beginning at may end. Hanggang 20 years ka lang itong patent mo. Pag nawala yan, wala na yung patent mo. Specific value, because it's a contract, we can often calculate exactly how much money it is worth or saving us. So kung may patent ka ng 20 years, makakalculate mo lang hanggang magkano lang yung pwede mong estimate mo kung magkano kikita mo dito, diba? Unlike sa reputation, hindi siya contractual assets. Kunyari, yung reputation ng restaurant. Kunyari, masarap tong pagkain dito sa restaurant na to kasi yung yung chef magaling doon magluto or maganda yung customer service. Your reputation of a good restaurant. Mm. Reputation, we cannot, wala naman siyang clear beginning or end. Wala naman parang atong reputation na to ng restaurant na to matatapos ng 2050. Hindi, di ba? Hindi natin masasabi. So, reputation is goodwill. Itong mga patent, trademark, copyright, that's under contractual assets. At masasabi natin, pag contractual assets, that's under intangible asset. At hindi siya goodwill. So, intangible asset ba or goodwill? So, gumawa na ako ng summary dito. Separable? Yeah. Kung separable siya, yes, then it's intangible asset. Hindi siya separable? You have to check legal rights. Okay. So, kung separable siya, yes, intangible asset na siya. Kaso, hindi siya separable eh. Check legal rights. Has legal rights? Yes. Then that's intangible asset. Kapag no legal rights and not separable, then it's goodwill na siya. Ito yung pinaka-summary natin. Diba? Okay. So let's have some problem solving. EBC Company acquired all the assets and liabilities of XYZ Incorporated for 1.5 M. Relevant information follows. So carrying amounts, other assets natin dito 1.6 M, fair value is 1.48 M. Computer software 100,000, carrying amount wala siyang fair value. Patent, carrying amount wala, fair value 50,000. Goodwill 100,000, fair value 20,000. Assets 1.8 M. Ito yung total assets. Total assets pala to. Total asset, yeah. 1.8 M, ito naman 1.55 M. Liabilities natin, ito 400,000, 450,000 fair value. Meron din yung additional information. The computer software daw is considered obsolete. So, itong computer software, obsolete na to. Kaya pala wala siyang fair value. The patent has a remaining useful life of 10 years and a remaining legal life of 12 years. XYZ has research and development projects with fair value of 50,000. You know, ito malaking bagay to. Has research and development, alam natin intangible asset to. Research and development projects with fair value of 50,000. However, XYZ Incorporated recognized the R&D cost as expense when they are incurred. So, in-expense agad siya. Okay? So, remember, in-acquire natin siya, di ba? Si ABC yung acquirer at si XYZ yung acquiree. So, hanapin natin palagi dito yung goodwill pag mayroong acquirer-acquiree, di ba? Katulad na sa mga previous videos natin. So, requirement, we will compute for the goodwill. Okay. So, paano to? Ito yung formula na palagi natin ginagamit. At ito, may sub-formula para mahanap yung fair value of net identifiable assets acquired. Baguhin ko lang yung kulay ng pen. Okay. So, fair value of identifiable assets acquired excluding goodwill is, check natin. Mhm. Pag dito kasi, ang tawag dito, kukunin mo muna yung other assets. Ito, other assets, yung patent, itong goodwill, hindi natin siya isasama. 'Di ba? Okay. Tapos, so 1530. Okay. Okay. Or you can just do itong asset mismo, total asset, minus mo yung goodwill. So that will be 1530, 'di ba? Oo. Ito yun, no? 1.55 M minus mo ng 20K, then that will be 1,530,000. Kaso, pwede na ba to? Check nga natin. Meron pa dito nakalagay, oh. Ito, obsolete. Wala na to eh. Yeah. Kung XYZR's research and development projects with fair value 50,000. Kaso daw, in-expense niya when they are incurred. So, kailangan natin i-add back tong 50,000 na to. Mm-mm. So, an acquirer recognizes an acquiree's R&D as intangible asset kahit na yung acquiree, in-expense niya na to. In-expense niya yung related cost. So, idadagdag natin siya. So, yung 1,530,000, add pa natin ng 50,000 para makuha natin yung tawag dito. Yung fair value of identifiable assets acquired excluding goodwill. So, that will be, palitan ko ng kulay. 1,530,000 plus manam 50K. So that will be, yan, 1,580,000. Fair value of liabilities assume, balik nga tayo, magkano yun? 450,000. Hmm. Yeah, so 450,000 siya. Teka lang, nagigo dito. Hmm. So pag minus mo yan, that will be, minus to ha, 1,130,000. Okay? Consideration transferred, magkano binayad niya? Hindi mo nakalagay ito. I'll just check. One moment. Ay, nakalagay pala. At ang hindi nagbabasa eh. Ito pala. XYZ Inc. for 1.5 M. Ayun to. You know, ABC company acquired all the assets and liabilities of XYZ Incorporated for 1.5 M. Ito pala. Hindi nagbabasa eh. So, nalagay ko dito 1.5 M. Mhm. 1,500,000. Non-considering interest in the query, wala tayo dito ton. Kasi hindi naman siya 8, walang 70% lang, 80% lang. Ito wala din to. Total natin, add mo lang to, or baba mo lang. Fair value of not identifiable assets acquired, that is, ito. O minus mo siya. Kasi yung difference ng nito, dun sa fair value, makukuming goodwill. So, ang goodwill natin dito is 370,000. Okay? Okay, next one. The ABC company acquired, ito problem solving number 2, iba naman to. ABC company acquired all the assets and liabilities of XYZ Incorporated. By the way, nakuha ko yung mga problem solving kay Sir Milena. So XYZ Incorporated for 1 million pesos. XYZ's assets and liabilities have fair values of 1.6 M and 900,000 respectively. Hindi daw included yung mga fair value of assets na nandito. Ito yon. Customer list, 40,000. Customer contract number 1, 30,000. Customer contract number 2, 20,000. Take note, may contract, di ba? Order production backlog, 10,000. Internet domain name, 15,000. Trademark, 25,000. Trade secret processes, 35,000. Mask works, 45,000. So, total niyan, that will be 220,000. Okay. Now, we're going to... Oh, additional information, of course. Meron palagi additional information. Accountancy to, mahirap talaga. Customer contract number 1 refers... Palitan ko yung kulay. Refers an agreement between XYZ Incorporated and a customer wherein XYZ Incorporated supply goods customer to be customer over a period of 5 years. Okay, interesting. The remaining term of the contract is 3 years daw. The agreement is expected to be renewed at contract end but is not separable. Mali spelling. Dapat separable. Hmm. Okay. Customer contract number 2 refers to XYZ's insurance segments portfolio once 1 year other insurance contracts that are cancelable by policyholders. Pangatlo, XYZ Incorporated transacts with its customers solely through purchase and sales orders. As of acquisition date daw, XYZ has a backlog of customer purchase orders from 60% of its customers, all of whom are recurring customers. The other 40% are also recurring customers, but XYZ has no open purchase orders with these customers. And lastly daw, the internet domain name is registered. Okay, now we will compute for the goodwill. Mukhang komplikado, no? But kakayanan natin yan. Okay. So the first thing that we will do is, ayan, ito yung formula, di ba? Hanapin muna natin yung, mas maganda hanapin naman natin yung fair value of identifiable assets acquired, excluding goodwill. Okay. So balik tayo sa problem. Fair value ng assets natin is 1.6. At wala naman nakalagay dito ng goodwill. So wala tayong i-exclude. Tapos, dito man, check natin kung isasama ba natin itong mga to. Itong mga intangible assets to. Customer list, Customer list naman kasi, they're normally separable because they're often lease or exchange. So, dagdag natin to. Ayan. Customer contract number one and customer number two. Kasi yung XYZ daw, nag-establish ng relationship with its customers through contracts. Kaya di ba yung contract kanina, di ba separable or contractual criterion. So, dadagdag natin siya. And, ang tawag dito, yung order production backlog, add din natin yan. Kasi, nami-meet niya yung contractual legal criterion. So, regardless of whether yung mga contracts na yun are cancelable or not, ano pa rin siya. So, sa order backlog, even if there were no open purchase orders as at the acquisition date, add pa rin natin siya as part ng fair value of identifiable asset. So, intangible asset siya. Okay. Yung internet domain name naman means the contractual legal criterion. Yes. As kanino, 'di ba? May may contract yun eh, yung internet domain name. Kaya .tv, .ph, mga ganyan. Oo. Trademark. Trademark, tapos trade secret processes and mask work. Normally meet naman the contractual legal criterion. Mm. Okay, for added explanation, bakit yung order production um, backlog is part ng contractual criterion? Kasi, ang tawag dito, nag-represent niya yung mga signed purchase order. Signed purchase order. Tapos, may binding contract siya, di ba? So, between the company and customer. Kaya, may backlog pa. Sabihin mo, hindi ka pa tapos. Di ba? So, from the company to the customer yun. Siyempre, that's already considered a contract. The right to receive the future revenue is a legal right. Nga. So, even if a customer could cancel the order, the expectation of the contract at the date of purchase makes it an identifiable asset. Yung trade secret processes naman, itong trademark, syempre, alam natin na ano talaga yan. Uh, from trademark, patent, copyright, that's contractual. At alam natin, intangible asset yan. Okay, let's have the next one. Trade secret processes naman. Ang logic behind this is yung, for example, secret formula ng Coca-Cola. Di ba? I mean, they aren't patented, but they are protected by legal statutes. Like, yung mga, ang tawag dito, non-disclosure agreement ng mga employee. Uy, wag mong sasabihin yung secret formula na. Parang Krabby Patty secret formula. Ganon. Ha? Mask work, ano to, yung gumagawa ng maskara? Siyempre, hindi. Nito yun. Ito yung mga technical terms sa mga semiconductor. Computer chip siya. So, may computer chip, meron mga blueprint yan, ganito, ganito. So, in many countries, katulad ng US, meron siyang parang Semiconductor Chip Protection Act. So, from the word act pa lang eh, di ba? That's parang law na rin, gano'n. Not really exactly law. Yung works have their own special category, so may intellectual property nga. So, parang copyright or patent na rin yun. Okay. So, because may mga specific law that gives the creator exclusive rights dito, ang tawag dito, may exclusive rights sila, it is a legal right. Therefore, identifiable intangible asset to. Itong mask work. Di ba? Okay. So, para siyang DNA ng computer chip. Di ba? And because the law protects that specific design from being copied by the other mga ibang competitors, meron siyang legal right na ano. So, from may legal right, edi contractual siya. At kung contractual siya, intangible siya. Pa-part siya ng intangible assets. Sige, ulitin ko yung internet domain name. Bakit ano siya? Um, I-add natin siya. Kasi, kunyari McDonald's, mcdonalds.com, di ba? Walang pwedeng gumamit ng ibang company, hindi pwedeng gamitin yung mcdonalds.com na lang, di ba? So, meron siyang legal right dito. In .com or yung google.com, di ba? Google, dapat pala small g, google.com, hindi pwedeng gamitin yan ni Yahoo, di ba? Akin lang tong google.com na to. Ganun yun, yung internet domain name. Okay. So, add natin sila lahat. So, yung 1.6M na yan, ay, ba't ako nagano? Ayan, di ba? We're complete for the goodwill. Ang mangyayari, ang tawag dito, ilagay na natin siya, yung fair value of identifiable assets, acquired exchange, excluding goodwill, wala namang goodwill doon, so 1.6 M, palitan ko lang yung kulay. So, alam natin dito is yung 1.6 M, yung fair value ng asset, at dagdagdagan natin ng 220,000. Mm. So, that will be 1,820,000. Yung fair value of liabilities assume, fair value of liabilities assume, check natin kung magkano ulit yun. Ito 900,000. At yung bayad natin yung 1 million. Ilagay natin dito 900,000. Yung fair value of net identifiable assets acquired, so minus mo lang siya, that will be 920,000. Okay. Consideration transferred, 1 million to. Yan, 1 million yan. Anito, ito po yun. Non-considering interest in acquiring, wala nakalagay. Ito rin. So, 1 million to. Fair value of net identifiable assets acquired, that will be, ito po yun. So, minus yan. Diba? So, yung goodwill natin, that's 80,000. Positive number eh. Okay. So, yun lang. So, intangible assets are the name roots of a company's value. Yung goodwill naman is the soil that holds them all together. Wow, big word. And that's the end of the lesson on intangible assets under business combination. If you have questions naman or in need of clarifications, please comment down. Again, this is James, your math and language instructor. I'll see you again on my next video. We're going to talk about contingent liability. Tapos yung mga deferred taxes, yung mga ganyan. Yan. Malapit na tayo matapos sa chapter 1 ng business combination. Okay. Thank you very much. Please like and subscribe. Laking tulong po sa akin to. Maraming salamat po. Bye!